Hey everybody, good evening. Donna Nelson, founder of the Adopt a Single Mom Project. I wanted to hop on and share with you some insights and some stories from my ventures earlier today. So earlier today we had an information table in the community, and it's so interesting and fun all the time to get to hear the single mom stories from those who stop by to see what we're up to, what our mission is all about, what we're doing. And I wanted to share some of that with you because what I always find so amazing is how varied the single mom life is, how the stories are that those who stop by our table and share. So I wanted to share some of that with you because for those of us who are working single moms, it always makes us feel a deeper connection to be knowing that there's others out there who can relate to our life experiences and those things that we're going through, and just helps us feel a deeper connection to our sisterhood, if you will. Hey, Justina. So a couple of the stories that were shared today. I'll just start from like the beginning of the day for the ones that were so impactful to Clarissa and I as we were sitting there listening to those who stopped by to see what we were up to. And the first one was a woman who owns some local businesses and said, "Hey, this is really awesome because a lot of my employees are single moms." And when you work in, say, the restaurant business, I was not surprised because us single moms are notorious for doing all kinds of part-time side jobs, either collectively doing side gigs so that we have some flexibility and control over our income, or doing things like waitressing as an extra job in addition to our day job because we need that extra money to make ends meet. And so she took our information to pass it on to her employees and has offered support to us in the future. So I was really excited about that because the truth is more employers need to get a clue on what it's like in single mom life and adjust their working conditions and policies to meet the needs of the working single mom population. And while I understand that it's hard, especially when we're talking about working in home health or medical or even the restaurant business where you're relying on that person to show up for their shift, there's still shit that happens. And when we do show up, we're the most dedicated, hardworking employees that you're ever going to have. And I know absolutely that employers realize that. Because we need the job. That's why we do. So that was one. So that was really encouraging to hear one of our local employers saying, "I get it. They're my employees. I know how it is, and I want to support them." And also, the next person, one of the other people that stopped by was a gentleman, and it's always encouraging to me. And I always find it so, I guess I'd just say encouraging when we have so many guys that support our initiative. To hear their background stories on why they want to support the Adopt a Single Mom financially and in concept and helping to spread the word, it's because everyone has a single mom story. And the gentleman that stopped by today, one of the gentlemen that stopped by, was one of 6 children and raised by a single mom. And now, being a dad himself, realizes how heroic his mom was, raising 6 kids all by herself, working multiple jobs. And as he says, always made sure they had clean clothes for school and 3 meals a day were always prepared for them. And as single moms, we strive to do that. And it's not easy. And often we know our kids don't recognize it, but the end of the rainbow is like this gentleman, they will see it later on and have an enormous amount of respect and appreciation for what we have done in overextending ourselves to make sure that our kids had a really amazing quality of life, and stable and loving in that quality of life. So anyway, so that was wonderful. And we have so many men that do support our initiative because they were either raised by a single mom, or they have a daughter who is a single mom, or their wife was one time a single mom, or someone they work with, they see struggle, is a single mom, or they have a sister that is a single mom. So we get a lot of support in a very broad way. Where I think kind of on the surface, people generally think that the Adopt a Single Mom project is all about women, and it's not. And then we had another mom. So, all of this is about looking at what does the life of a single mom look like and how varied they are. So one of the single moms that stopped by to share with us her story. And again, people don't stop by and say, let me tell you their story. They hear what we're about and they just love to share their story because they finally feel like somebody gets it. Somebody can relate to my life and they just have to verbalize it, which is very cathartic. And for us, it's very renewing and helps us feel like we're doing our part in being supportive. And sometimes as a community, we don't see how challenging it is for a single mom. So here's a woman who got breast cancer and had to have a double mastectomy. And she had 2 kiddos. She was in a relationship that was abusive. The father of her youngest kiddo. And her kids, because of going through chemo and the reactions that she was having, her blood cell count was very low, and she needed to have her kids go live with family so that she didn't get sick if they got sick, because we all know kids are germ carriers. In school, they are just loaded with germs, and it's how we get sick because they get sick, right? So fortunately, this mom had family that could take her kids so that she could do what she could to protect her own health so that she could heal optimally under those conditions. Had to have another surgery. As a result, I couldn't work. Has been out of work since this time because of a follow-up surgery and complications from both of those things. And so here's a woman who was in the helping field, used to being the one who is always giving and serving and helping, making a difference in the community, and is now literally homebound, has her children back because she's doing fine now. But we don't think about these things and what the impact of this is on a single mom. So fortunately, she got rid of this deadbeat guy who was beating her during her chemo treatment with her baby. Oh my God, the stories that these moms tell is just, you can't believe. We all say, is this my life? Why is this my life? How did I get here? This is not what I saw my life like, right? And I told her that, most of us single moms, we all say that, this is not what I saw early on, what I saw my life being like. And it's all a journey. It gets better, and it can be whatever you want it to be, because you get to create it. You get to recreate over and over every day. And a lot of it is a matter of mindset and being hopeful. But when you have significant health issues, that just beat the shit out of you, some days it's hard to be helpful. And it's why you need a network of support. And I realize every time a single mom like this, or like the mom that was helping me today, shares their story or another piece of their story, it just solidifies and validates even more the importance of the Adopt a Single Mom Project and the community and the connection and the support that we offer, because there's a lot of people that are hopeless out there. And we don't, as when we look at their lives and see them going on, like this mom that I'm telling you about, she's literally taking her kids to activities today. She looks fine to us on the outside, but on the inside, struggling. Because not where she thought she would be, struggling because of her health issues, struggling because she's worried about her kids, struggling because she's worried about money, not feeling significant and making a difference the way she always did before she got sick. And, especially when you have cancer, you're always worried about, is this coming back? And we all know that stress is a trigger for all illness. And when you're constantly stressed, worrying about, am I going to get sick again? Or what's going to happen to my kids? Or how is this going to happen? You're in this chronic state of stress, which is the complete opposite of where you need to be. And so for her, and Jesse, I'm speaking to you right now, girlfriend. And I thought about you, Jess, after I was talking to this mom and said to her, because, she's not a working single mom, but I know she needs support, and I want to, of course, support her as much as possible. And I said, just sign up to be a volunteer. So that you can be part of what we're doing and be part of the support system, to be able to now give back and be part of that, but also be part of our community. And that's what we need as single moms. We need a damn community. We need to be around these women who get it, and aren't going to be judgmental, so that you can be hopeful, to have some purpose. And I realize more and more, the more moms that I talk to, we get so, and it was me for a long time too. My son is 24 now. I've been through where a lot of our moms already are, because I was at that stage of, my identity was my kids, right? My life was living my life through them, for them. And I had no other purpose, other than to make sure they had everything they needed and more. And they had the things that were going to enrich their lives, or make sure they had the best of whatever I thought that they needed at that time. And that wasn't always the case, but that was always my intention. And so when your kids then, start growing up and, growing distant from you, then you're like, who the hell am I? And you realize, shit, I have nothing for me anymore. But sometimes we get to that place a lot earlier and feel hopeless when we don't have the job, we don't have anything to strive for every day other than raising children. And let's be honest, it's just fucking exhausting, right? When you're just giving your everything to kids every day, especially when you have kids that have been traumatized or have behavioral issues, developmental issues, neurological issues. I mean, all kinds of things. Honestly, we all have that. It's either our health issues or our kids' health issues. I'm seeing that. Since we started doing the membership, I'm seeing like all of these things that I absolutely knew in my heart were true about single mom families, particularly single moms, what's going on with her kids. I'm seeing all these connections now, that things that I knew were true coming through in our applications. And I'm excited about that, in the sense that now I have the data and we can now provide better resources, and supports, and apply for funding and preach to the community about why it's so important that we build in these, my arm fell off the chair, and we build in these foundational support system for capacity building, for resilience, for stress management, all these things for both our moms and our children, because we've all been through some level of trauma, some big traumas, some little traumas, and it affects all areas of our life, particularly our health, that then trickles across all areas of our life over and over again. So, so I was really encouraged, but talking to this mom today and hearing her story about someone, who's on, is educated, has a career, and then we get sick, and then everything just goes to shit, and your life is not what you thought it was going to be anymore. And these are things that happen over and over to single moms. And then as we were talking, we're realizing, like, what are all these gaps of support when a single mom gets sick and she doesn't have a natural support system like family and friends. Then what does she do to get the support she needs to get through that? And I always worried about that because I didn't have any family that was close. I had 2 friends, less than a handful, 2 friends that I could count on as like a semi backup. And if I got sick, I don't even know, like, to the degree that she got sick, I have no idea, literally no idea what I would have done with my kids. And so those are things that, we, as we're building these bridges and making these, closing these gaps for working single moms, hearing these stories helps me realize these are real life things that are happening, and these are areas that single moms need support, particularly when they don't have these natural support systems. So that was another story that we got to hear today. And then a lady that stopped by, so Clarissa, who is, if you didn't see the post earlier today, I took a picture of me and Clarissa at the table, but she had brought, because me, I'm super basic. Like, I'm like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, the simpler it is, the more basic it is, the easier my life rolls. And so I don't really think about the things that Clarissa or Cindy, who's always like up-leveling stuff and making it nicer, I don't even think in that realm. I'm just like, okay, we got the table, we got the information, we got me, we're good to go. But Clarissa shows up with balloons to fancy up the table, and she's like, we should be giving out cookies and brownies and whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Draw people to the table, like, so that was amazing that she thought of that and just did that. So that was fantastic. But another lady that stopped by, because she thought we were having a bake sale, and so she wanted to make a donation. And again, we never know. I mean, we don't know someone's story, but what I absolutely do know is that when someone stops by our table, I know they have a single mom story. And so this lady, spent a few minutes talking to us and telling us why she wanted the cookies, because her mom's in a nursing home and blah, blah, blah. And she wanted to take something to her and all her friends and all of that. And when she was done with all of that, she was like, thank you for what you're doing, because I was that single mom raising my kids. And she was sharing a story with us. And this is where we moms in the middle get this shit, and why those working single moms or those men that support us because they had a raised by whatever single mom. She said that because she was a struggling single mom who always worked when she was raising her kids, she had a friend that started like a Christmas club, like a savings account, but she put this mom's name on it because the money was for her. So there were friends just adding money to this account so that her kids could have Christmas. And she was on food stamps at the time, and the agency found out that she had this account that had her name on it, which was not even really her money. It was money that friends were putting in there so her kids could have Christmas. And they literally, when they saw, because of course they requested access to it, the documentation, they literally took her food stamps away from her. Now, raise your hand. I mean, I don't think they do that anymore. I don't even know how they do that, how they did that then, because I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot more people getting caught with that shit now. But seriously, like, what the fuck? Um, so as she, and this is a woman who is probably my mom's age, that had raised her kids. So she's older, retired age, and for the record, the system has been broke for that long. So it's easy to say 50 some years. How long have food stamps been around? Probably 40, 50 years. The system has not changed or advanced one little bit to recognize the working single mom. And yeah. So again, so many stories that working single moms could share, that kind of stupid shit, you're working and trying to get ahead, and then people are trying to do good for you, and then there's that, you lose your benefits. So anyway, the realities are there's a lot of the working single mom life looks like so many different things. The struggles are so many different things, and it's why it's so important for us to share our stories, connect with each other, and be in community together to support each other, because it can feel really hard doing it alone. So for those of you who have not checked out our membership yet, or have not signed up to be a member yet, I encourage you to do that, so that you can be part of the community in a meaningful way, not just listening to my Facebook Live or, our Christmas drive or whatever those other little things are throughout the year. We want to support you in a meaningful way, and we have all the things lined up to be able to do that, but you've got to show up. You've not only got to show up, you've got to sign up. So do the membership. Whether I would encourage you at a minimum to do the $50 a year membership level, because you're able to get access. I'm sorry if it's really loud behind me. I'm out, and I don't know where the hell all these people came from, because it should not be this loud here. But at the $50 membership level, $50 a year, not a month, one whole year, not only do you get to come to our Mom's Night Out, which we do about 9 a year for free, but in line with kind of what we're talking about right now. So that's, is social support, where we do fun stuff, and we do, workshops and that kind of stuff. But we're doing now, starting in March, we're doing the Emotional Healing Circle, which is virtual. It'll be like this live, except you'll be live too. So I'm live, you're live, but you're not going to be like in Facebook land. We're going to be doing video conference. And I'm telling you, it's super transformational. It's very cathartic. You're going to get to learn from each other's healing experiences. I'm leading it. There may be times when we have April lead it, our empowerment advocate, who is a licensed or a master's in social work. So anyway, but in that time, these are the places where you need to plug in to work on all of the stuff that goes on kind of in the background of our life, to be able to, build our capacity to be more resilient, to tolerate, the daily stuff, to not be overwhelmed, and have the coping skills and how to, not only how to do that, but just to release all the shit, So anyway, so that's why you need to join at the $50 level. And then, there's other stuff, but honestly, those are really, and of course, access to April, because when you join at the $50 a year level, you're also getting, once a month, you're getting access to a session with April. And again, we need this, just like these ladies that we were talking to today. sometimes we just need to tell someone our story and hear that we're okay and that we're gonna be okay, and that even if our kids aren't okay, they're going to be okay because we're going to help them be okay and get them the resources and the supports and whatever. And we're going to help you save your sanity in the process. So sometimes you just need to have a chat with someone to feel better, and sometimes you need some real mentoring and guidance. You know, I was talking to someone today, and they're like, I never had anyone. We were talking about some challenges with her kiddos, and she's like, I never had anyone talk to me like that. I never had anyone tell me those things. um, and it just, again, it validated what we do here, especially Tara. I see you're on here. Us moms who have older kids, our wisdom, our experience to be able to mentor these moms with younger kiddos. We get to tell them the shit we fucked up, and don't do that because I did it. It didn't work. But also the stuff that we did, and to let them know it gets better and how to make it better along the way. It's truly invaluable to a younger mom. Those things, like this mom said to me, I don't have that mom. I didn't have that mom growing up, and I don't know how to do it. I never thought of that. I mean, seriously, I legit never thought of that. I mean, we know mentoring is invaluable. We know the connection and the sisterhood of what we do, you know, getting to bitch at each other, get to laugh together, get to vent, you know, all of that stuff, and then talk about, you know, solutions and way of doing it better, being inspired by each other. All of that stuff matters. But seriously, the real one-on-one mentoring to legit change a mom's life and how she's able to interact with her kids and how she's able to improve the quality of her kids' life. Yeah. So I'm excited about all the stuff coming, but we need you in it. We want you in it. I mean, some of you have been following what we're doing for a long time, and you need to get yourself more into what we're doing so we can support you, but also because you bring so much of your own experience and your own knowledge and all of that stuff, your own love, to be able to help nurture another mom who's going through what you're going through, to help her. Um, you know, I see some of the moms that have popped on here and the ones that are already members, and so many of us have had had kids with all kinds of health issues, and moms who have had health issues. And to know that somebody else is going through that, even if it's not the same kind of thing, and what do you do? How do you do it? Or just that you are doing it, you're still living and surviving and moving, is really supportive and encouraging. So, because often we're just trudging through day after day, feeling like we're all alone and that no one's going through the shit that we're going through. So those of you who are members already, thank you. We're still pulling our stuff together, and you'll see more things coming in your email, more stuff posted on Facebook, more of, we're going to be adding you to the private Facebook group where you'll see all of the stuff that we're going to have going on there. And what else did I want to say? What were some more stories that I had today? I feel like those were kind of the top things that were on my mind. So anyway, for those of you who always share your stories, thank you. Because it keeps giving me a reason and a deeper sense of purpose to keep doing what we're doing and finding new ways to support everyone. So, all right. I'll put a link to the membership to make it easy in the thread below, so you can check that out if you don't even know what our membership is all about, or you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, or you thought about it and you just life goes on and it just is not a priority. So I understand that, but we want it to be a priority so we can support you. All right. Good night, you guys. Love you.